welcome to Green Iowa AmeriCorps' Week 3 of the virtual summer camp. We are at the Bulldog Basin today, and we're going to talk to you about how Iowa ecosystems are affected by invasive species and how we plan to remove those invasive species here at the Bulldog Basin. I'm Dalen Coppinger.
And I'm Mari, and we're your hosts for today. I want to introduce you to the new members of our summer team. This is Freddie. And this is Albert. That's Flower. And the last one is Billy.
Our goats recently joined Van Meter Sustainable Schools to help us put an end to the invasive species that have been taking over our Bulldog Basin for the past couple of years. The goats are here to use a tactic called targeted grazing. Targeted grazing is defined as the carefully controlled grazing of livestock, in this case goats, to accomplish the specific management of plant species. Unlike conventional grazing management, livestock are used as a tool for improving land health by performing weed control, reducing wildland fire, and aiding in restoration projects. In this case, we are restoring the Bulldog Basin to use it as a public recreational catch and release fishing pond. Using the goats to remove the invasive species is much safer and easier. When you spray invasive species with chemicals, it usually ends up being pretty dangerous to the environment and the ecosystem, and it can cause a lot of trouble to the ecosystem. And so the goats are a much safer solution to this. And then you could also go through and chop all the invasive species down like so, or you could go through and weed whack all of this, but that would be a lot of work for our Green Iowa AmeriCorps members. So the goats just make it a lot easier for us, plus it's a nutritious snack for them, so they really enjoy it, and we are glad to have their help.
As some of you may already know, invasive species are a major problem in Iowa's delicate ecosystems because of how easily they take over the ecosystems. An invasive species is an organism that is brought into an ecosystem that it does not belong in. Since it doesn't belong in that ecosystem, it has no predators, so there is nothing there to keep the species from continuous reproduction. There ends up being an extreme abundance of that species, and eventually it invades the entire ecosystem. This is when the species that was originally there in the ecosystem begins to die out because they can't compete for resources with the invasive species because there are so few of the original and such an abundance of the invasive. Invasive species can completely ruin Iowa's ecosystems, and this is why we have to partner with our goat friends, Albert, Flower, Billy, and Freddie, in order to save the ecosystems that surround the Bulldog Basin. It is important to be able to identify invasive species so you are aware that they are a problem and put an end to their spread before they get too out of control and throw the entire ecosystem out of whack.
This particular ecosystem is overrun with
Multiflora rose,
bush honeysuckle,
wild parsnip,
poison ivy,
reed canary grass, and more.
These are just a few of the invasive plant species you can find in Iowa's ecosystems.
There are even more listed on your scavenger hunt that we encourage you to check out once you're done with this video. We're so glad that you could join us today and learn about our new goat friends and how to help the ecosystem.
We encourage you to do the invasive species scavenger hunt as well as the goat craft that we have attached with this week's activities. And we hope to catch you out here sometime at the Bulldog Basin when it is restored and open for fishing.
The goats want to thank you for watching and wish you a happy summer.